So, so Chuck mentioned about us working with this Helium network to build this network, and a little bit about that. He mentioned how they started in 2013, but basically what happened is a couple of really smart people had gotten together. They saw what was happening even back in 2013 with this exploding IoT global marketplace, and they did an analysis of it. And they thought they found an inherent weakness in the whole system. And that was, is there was no simple foundation. There was no global platform that these IoT manufacturers and users could use to get their IoT data to the internet. They all had to essentially build their own infrastructure to do it, or they had to rely on cellular data plans and things of that nature to do it. So there wasn't any concerted effort that people can plug into over a wide area. And so they decided to create a device that they can use to put this together with, that not only use this radio process that Chuck talked about, and I'll cover a little bit more, but also create this Helium token and Helium blockchain that was uniquely and specifically created for this whole project. So let's just take a look at a 20,000 foot view of what this is all about. So rather than creating some kind of a centralized process, they wanted to make this decentralized. And that means allowing us individually, as Chuck mentioned, to be able to participate in building the network. They called it the People's Network because we, the people, essentially have the opportunity to own a piece of the network. And so again, the operative need was taking this IoT data and getting it to the internet. Now, what happens is we buy these units for around $460. We plug them in. It's this radio broadcasting device. Somebody was sharing with me when he was talking to somebody about it. He said, well, it's like having a transistor radio sitting on the windowsill. Well, that's maybe not precisely clear because transistor radios are having the radio signal coming in. This has coming in and going out, but it's similar in that respect. These things are in a bandwidth that's been used for ages. The very earliest cell phones, not cell phones, the very earliest wireless telephones were in this band range, and it's in the UHF range. In the US, it's like 915 megahertz. It's in a very, very friendly bandwidth. It's not talking about the microwave ranges that people are so concerned about, things like 5G and stuff along those lines. And it's only 5 watts. I mean, if you imagine an FM radio station, that's in your city, they've got a tower that's probably broadcasting at 20 to 50,000 kilowatts. That's like 20 to 50 million times what this thing is basically doing. At least 1 million times more of energy. So we got something in a friendly bandwidth biologically and at a very, very low power. And yet it has the ability to have a range of between a couple of miles to 10 miles or more based on the kind of density of what's going on in the topography. So the key is we buy these units, we plug them in, we're adding more real estate to this global network that's being developed. And in doing so, we hook this thing up to our internet, and it allows this encrypted IoT data coming from this protocol that the IoT industry has adopted over the last 10 years that's called the LoRa radio protocol. LoRa just stands for long range. WAN means that we're building a wide area network. Before, people had to use their own LoRa infrastructure somehow and get their data there. So they had to spend time, energy, and resources to figure out how to get their data to the internet. Now, they're able to just plug into the Helium network, and it's going to dramatically free up the creativity of the IoT manufacturers and the people using those sensors from creating more creative, smart ideas to be able to do it without having to worry about the infrastructure. So we go ahead, we hook this thing up to our internet. The IoT data comes over the radio signal. It uses our unit to get to the internet. And then the people that need to get the data, the people that own that IoT data, pull it down from the internet. Now, here's the genius of this whole program. To incentivize us in order to be able to do that, essentially, these units are also on this Helium blockchain. So they're a radio device. They're also on the helium blockchain. And they created something called proof of coverage in the world of cryptocurrency mining that generates these helium tokens based on these units being able to interact with each other to prove that they physically exist, that we've added real estate to this global peer-to-peer network, and that generates helium tokens. And then even more profoundly, the IoT applications, they need to buy helium to pay for the data they're pulling down. And they're able to do it at like 100 times less than even a cellular data plan. They don't have to pay a monthly fee. They use these helium tokens to create data credits, and those data credits pay for the IoT data in real time. No monthly contracts. They just pay for it as they use it. But when they use the helium to create those data credits, it removes that coin from circulation. So you're creating a completely closed ecosystem of the units mining the data as we're building the network. There's more emphasis on the building of the network in the early phase, but 5-10 years from now, when the network is complete, there'll be less helium generated from building the network and more helium generated from the actual data that moves through your unit to get to the internet, kind of like a little toll gateway that it's going through. So then as the helium is mined, it then gets consumed by the people using the data. And this has become kind of like a poster child in the cryptocurrency and the business world for looking how a cryptocurrency can have a very, very powerful use case that's completely independent from the need for people buying it just on sheer speculation. So that's a very, very powerful concept that they came up with and they've implemented. And we're really only less than a year and a half away from the first units that got plugged in 2019 in December. And Chuck showed you there's like 26,000 units out there right now. It's going to take somewhere around 3 million units to cover all the cities in the US alone. I don't know what that translates to globally, but we're probably talking 30 million units or so. So we are definitely in the right place at the right time. There's enough activity out there that we're able to physically look at because these units are all completely transparent on the helium network, the helium blockchain rather. And so it's not hypothetical. We're looking at the real world activity that's happening out there, and we get to be on the forefront of carrying this out there worldwide. And as Chuck said, how about getting 5, 10, 15% of hundreds or even thousands of these helium hotspots, these IA miners, as this grows all over the world? So that's what we got on the table here, Chuck. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Well, Michael, thank you very much. And guys, I mean, that's just a little overview of what we're, where we're at with everything. And like I said, everything is moving very quickly. We're moving on all the software to make all of this very simple, very easy. So all of that is being built. You don't want to miss the Thursday training. Whatever you do, don't miss the Thursday training because we're going to make some announcements on Thursday night. So don't miss that. We've only got 300 seats. We had 220 people on this Zoom. So there's, we were 80 seats. We still had enough room for 80 more people. Looks like we're gonna have to get a bigger boat here before very long. So don't miss the upcoming Thursday meeting. Make sure you're here a little bit ahead of time and invite some people, right? Invite some people. Even though it's a training, they're going to get some valuable information from what we're going to talk about. So Michael, thank you very much for everything that you do. John, we couldn't do this without you, buddy. And, a lot of people behind the scenes pedaling and as fast as we can in order to get this whole thing done. Because like I said in the very beginning, we had no intention. We had no intentions of doing this until we saw this product. And guys, I mean, this is the product that I know for me, let me speak for myself. I've been looking for my entire life. I've been looking for something that would just sit there and make money 24/7 and without any involvement. All you had to do was plug it in. And this is it. I never thought I was ever going to find it, but this is it. And, when you start looking at what some of these hotspots are making, it is mind blowing. And when Michael says, yes, earning a little, yes, you can certainly do it yourself. You can buy one and you can earn 100%. And, that if that's something you want to do, I suggest you do that. But if you want to build a generational income, right? If you want to build generational wealth that will live way past you, then I would suggest you understand how to work the leverage part of it and refer people who refer people who refer people, and so on and so on and so on. I'm doing a fundraising program for a private Christian school. And I said, this may well be the last fundraising program you will ever have to do. And they all started, hallelujah, right? I mean, it was hallelujah time. No more boxes of chocolate, no more fairs, no more things that they would have to do. I said, can you imagine getting paid on hotspots all around the globe as we introduce every other school that has a similar problem that you have, and we introduce all of those schools? And yeah, I mean, just let your mind go a little bit and you'll see how big this opportunity is. So don't think small, think large, and great things are going to happen. So God bless everybody. Thanks for being here with us tonight. And with that, we'll call an end. We'll get this video out to everybody here very shortly. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, John. See you guys. See you on Thursday.